Hey guys, welcome to The Scoop with Barb. If you're new to me, I used to do a lot of trauma, and I knew Brittney J back a few years back, 3 years ago, when I first started going live, and she first started, I guess, her channel. And I'm redoing this, so I'm not going to be sure what I've already said to y'all, but I had paused the video, and then I thought I had recording again, but I guess I didn't. So what we're going to talk about today is the development of children and how these children are being treated in this home. I have a BA degree in a Bachelor of Arts degree in psychology, but I took developmental psychology 21 or 22 years ago. So I don't really know that much about specifically. But we can watch, we can do an easy Google search, and I've got it pegged for the ages these kids have been since she's been on doing these live streams and stuff. So let me see if there was any. Oh, yeah. The other thing was, if you don't like me and you knew me from trauma and I've left because I can't deal with the kickback and everything, I'm probably still that way. But it's Nonsense's fault because she brought me back in, right? She brought this old video of Brittney and I back from 3 years ago, and was playing it. And so I'm just going to blame it all on her because, if Brittney doesn't have to take accountability, then why do I, right? So it's all Nonsense's fault. She did it. Now, let's see here. We're going to watch the video. I hope it works this time. No, we want this one. No, we want this one. I'll get it here in a minute. I just had it. There we go. All right. See, I don't want to go live. I want to go live, but I wanted to do a recording because it's better sometimes. But then you want everything to be perfect, and I just can't. I can't.
Wrench because you couldn't afford a membership, she said.
Now, at the beginning of this, and just right there, you just heard her little boy laugh, and it's her son that she says has autism that laughed, and she'll be saying his name later and everything. And I started it a little bit before apparently she nodded, because look, if you're going to go get on the phone with your daughter or text your daughter, just say, hold on a second, I got to text my daughter, because you do that a lot. You text, and your freaking Facebook Messenger was blowing up during live streams. That's so rude to have all that noise in the background, and especially when Craig's back there with his loud stuff. But there's loud stuff in this one too. Anyway, we heard her little boy giggle.
She said.
There he goes.
Oh my God. No, that wasn't true. I gave her a wrench because I cared about her.
And this is showing her right before she apparently nods off. And we can't prove it because we can't see her. We can just go by the hundreds of videos she's made where she's been on live, been on camera, and nodded off.
That's why she had a wrench. I gave her a wrench because I actually did care about her.
Sleeping. Sleeping. It sounded there, now that I'm listening to it for the third or fourth time or 100th time, it sounds like he clapped first. Let's go back just a little bit. Wait, I didn't go back far enough. I think he was clapping or snapping his fingers. Now, a lot of little kids can't do that. But I think a while back, the kids would say, Mom, wake up. And then she got them trained to clap and stuff. And so I'm not sure. I'm not positive. But he says mom 3 times after the parent clapping or clicking, or if he's just playing in the background. And it took her 3 times. And then she sounds sleepy when okay, let me go back. And then she sounds sleepy.
What? Baby, I'm looking down at my phone texting. Are you even gonna, do you realize what you... Jesus, hold on a minute.
Jesus, I hate that. And I don't know if I've already said this because I said it when I was filming a minute ago and looked down and I hadn't restarted my recording after a pause for a blooper. So we're just going to go through it. And if there's a bunch of bloopers in here, I'm sorry. I'm just Barb. I'm over here just trying to get through this. Now I forgot what I was going to say. I got to go back and hear what she was saying.
On a minute. I'm going to have to turn my phone on.
Oh, right there. Oh, see, now I forgot what I was going to say. But now she says, I'm going to have to turn my phone on when she just said she was on the phone texting with her daughter.
On a minute. I'm going to have to turn my phone on. Oh, my God. Because my kid just looked at... You didn't even look at
your phone was on.
You just told me to wake up. I'm looking down at my phone texting. Neil, did you even look to see that I had my phone and I'm texting your sister? Kid.
I don't know what he says right there. He says no something.
Kid. Even look to see that I had my phone and I'm texting your sister?
No, your head was flopped. Is that what he says?
I look to see that I had my phone and I'm texting your sister?
Your head was floppy or your head was something. Brittney, quit making your kids lie. This is horrible. I have childhood trauma, and this triggers me, okay? A lot of what I have childhood trauma over is just verbal stuff, right? I'm like ultra sensitive. That's why I can't do a lot of the drama stuff. I'm so sensitive that I can cry. Like, I'd probably make a good actress because I can feel my tear ducts right now, like I'm about to cry. And I'm not sad or anything, but I can talk about it or go see my doctor and, just stuff that where you're embarrassed to cry. And I'm really sensitive to childhood family stuff.
Kid. Oh my God, I wish you wouldn't do that. Look, I hate this. I'm going to have to show y'all. I'm messaging my daughter because Neil just said, wake up. And I'm literally sitting here texting my daughter.
Why don't you put your phone up there, which I never could see it in the original video. I don't think I was watching when she did this last night. I was watching my Indiana Fever winning playoffs. Anyway, so she puts her phone, she's already doxed her daughter once with this phone thing. And now she's doing it again. No wonder people are looking into your family. You're fighting with people. They're going to look you up. That's just the way it is.
God, she's asking me for,
well, the God and Jesus thing, that's what I was going to say. I don't know if I said this in this video or the one I just did, but I texted her. No, I went into her chat one day and I said, a few months ago, I already was not supporting her, but I went in there because we had never had any arguments or anything. And so I could still come in there and I said, why do you use Jesus and oh my God so much as a Christian? And she just went off on me about how Natasha Cooper, how all those conversations we had about Natasha Cooper. Well, first of all, it was 3 years ago and we didn't have all those conversations. And yes, she was striking me and stuff like you're starting to do now to people, striking them and saying you didn't. And I don't know what you're doing, but as a Christian, a nice Southern Christian lady, you should come on here and not be saying Jesus when you're mad. Okay? You just shouldn't do that. I don't know what my religion is, but it's not yours, right? It's not the same as yours. And so I don't approve of that. I don't approve of your behavior overall, and especially how you act with your children.
Neil, you got to actually look at me before you say stuff like that, okay? Because I'm sending my daughter's asking me for money and I'm texting her back. Let me show the time. Look, 9:32. You see, I just sent the message.
Nobody
Let
cares.
me show that. Last thing I need is people saying I'm asleep. Damn it. See it?
No, we can't see
9:32.
We don't want to see it.
I'm certainly not asleep. I'm texting my child.
Go fly a kite like this little girl out here running in a field all happy and everything. You know, kids need that. I'm not going to talk about what you do or don't do with your children because I'm not there. But if your children are up in the middle of the night playing video games, then it's pretty obvious they're not getting a lot of exercise because they would be crashed out. They've been to school all day and then say they came home and y'all took them out and you flew a kite with them and stuff. Boom, they would be right out to sleep. Or kids playing t-ball. Some of my friends over here were posting pictures. Their little boy got a hit. They gave him the team ball. I guess he's having trouble. They gave him the team ball for getting a hit and getting on base. Little things, that's development. That's what we're going to talk about in a minute. Developmental things. Learning to be on a team. Learning to be a teammate.
Jesus.
Yeah, Jesus.
Oh, I guess I'm going to have to leave my fucking camera on.
And you're talking like that in front of your son, too. Lying, making him lie, calling him a liar, basically. Now, where are you?
Sorry, my daughter's freaking...
Still?
Could you see it? God. I don't want to even show my private messages, but they're going to run with that shit anyway. Y'all know I'm awake, right? Everybody knows. You can tell if I'm asleep. Did I sound like I was sleepy? I'm sitting here texting my daughter.
No, you didn't sound like you were sleepy. You sounded just fine until there was nothing but your music playing and whatever he's doing in the background. You didn't sound sleepy at all. No yawns. No, your voice was strong. There was no sleepy pattern to it.
That's the absolute beauty of a kid that's behind you and he's not freaking, he can't see you.
You've been telling us for months that your kid's not back there anymore because all the people on YouTube made it where I can't even have my kids in the room. You shouldn't have your kids in the room while you're doing live streams. I don't care if they can hear anybody else, they can hear you. And you talk about a lot of things, and Craig talks about a lot of things back there that those kids don't need to be hearing for developmental reasons, right?
Anyway, back to what we were saying. Yeah.
What?
Literally sitting here texting my daughter.
Oh, I got
32.
If I had an internet thing or what? Where were we?
Show that. Last thing I need is people saying
I think it backed up a little bit. Something happened.
See it? 9:32.
Internet or StreamYard or.
I'm certainly not asleep. I'm texting my child.
Sorry, I
Jesus.
don't know what my spot was.
Oh, I guess I'm gonna have to leave my fucking camera on.
I know we're replaying this part. Or maybe that was the end and it just ended. Maybe that was what happened.
Sorry, my daughter's freaking. Could you see it? God. I don't want to even show my private messages, but they're going to run with that shit anyway. Y'all know I'm awake, right? Everybody knows. You can tell if I'm
running with the devil.
Asleep. Did I sound like I was sleepy? I'm sitting here texting my daughter. That's the absolute beauty of a kid that's behind you and he's not freaking, he can't see.
Yeah, I think it just ended because we got 7 seconds. But right there, she's talking about her kid. Her kid's not in the room. You've been saying he's not even in there, and now you're saying he's back behind you.
Anyway, back to what we were saying. Yeah, wrench because it couldn't have
ended, and I was freaking out. Okay. Simple. All you have to do is do a Google search, developmental from 5 to 12 years old. Now, I'm guessing that's about how old her children were when she started on YouTube. A little bit older than that. But this is covering where they are because I think she said they're like 10 and 11 or something. I'm not sure. And yeah, I'm going to read some of this and then, we're just going to talk about it if you're interested, because this is what I see as the problem. And these are not the kinds of things that necessarily CPS is going to come in there and take your children, because CPS doesn't have a place to put all the children. They only have places, and not even adequate places, to put the children who are in terrible, terrible homes where they're getting physically abused or locked in cages, the terrible stuff. They don't have, or maybe their parents passed away and there's no place to put them at all. I mean, that's why people get in, or their parents go to jail. That's why kids get put into foster homes. So from 5 to 12, children undergo significant physical, cognitive, and social and emotional development. They're going through hundreds of changes right now, and their brain is developing. Key changes include improved physical coordination and stamina, more complex language skills and logical thinking, development of empathy and self-identity, and increasing independence and awareness of social rules and peer influence. They also develop interest, learn to manage emotions, and become more capable in problem solving and decision making. So this kid's back here, and he's right in the middle of this age. Well, he's near the end of this age group now. Remember, we're going from age 5 to 12 developmentally. And he's learning about problem solving and decision making. And he decides that his mother's asleep and he needs to wake her up, because I think they've been told to wake her up. But you got to do it a certain way so that everybody doesn't know that she really was asleep. You got to tap her on the back, or, clapping doesn't even work now because we all figured it out. We already knew. But anyway. And in the meantime, while he's trying to learn this stuff, you're telling him to lie. You're telling him what he saw, he didn't see, and he should have come over there and looked at your phone because your phone was in your lap. But then when he did it, you said, I have to turn my phone on. I got to turn my phone on. Well, wasn't your phone on if you were texting your... You don't even make any sense, Brittney. Okay, physical development. They're learning coordination, motor skills, leading to better balance, endurance, ability to use tools and tie shoelaces. Children enjoy activities like biking, swimming, running games, and sports. Are your kids doing any of these things developmentally? Fine motor skills. They develop, and here's the thing now with the internet, with gaming and phones in your, in your hand constantly, kids aren't getting that a lot anyway. So you've got to be even more engaged and more intent on getting them physical exercise. Now, maybe they get plenty. I don't know. My main thing is what she's doing to them emotionally. Because they're in this phase of their development, right? They're in this phase where this stuff is very important. And if you don't learn it, if you don't develop it, then when are you going to develop it? Fine motor skills. They develop greater skill in drawing, painting, jewelry making, and building models. So now, okay, age 11 and 12-ish, kids can hit puberty at that age. They may be, in the beginnings of it. That's another huge thing. Cognitive development, abstract thinking. Children begin to think hypothetically and consider multiple possibilities. So you think that kid's back there and he's learning about, he's playing a game or whatever he's doing, and mom falls asleep. And the last time she fell asleep, he couldn't wake her up, and he's all worried about it. How is he learning? Problem solving. Their ability to solve problems and concentrate, learning. They develop stronger memory and concentration and enjoy reading and learning about topics of interest. Understanding time and numbers. They can tell time, understand concepts like fractions, and perform multi-step instructions. Multi-step instructions like, Neil, I wasn't asleep. You you need to come over and look at my phone to see that I was texting somebody. Well, he said her head was bobbing around or nodding or flopping or something. He said it. We heard it. Independence. Children become more independent. Now, these children are, she says that he has to be whatever room she's in because the CPS came out and he's just really attached to her. And okay, I get it. My dogs are right here. They were right here. They're right underfoot. And you know, they need me and I need them. And I guess that's the same way with kids. That may be true. And I don't know anything about specific developmental if a child is autistic. I don't know how that varies, but they're usually behind in some areas, if not all, except they'll be real smart and then they'll have behavioral issues and things. But yeah, independence, they make plans, getting dressed and taking care of their hygiene without help. Empathy, they develop a stronger sense of empathy and understand that others have different feelings and perspectives. Some things that I don't think Brittney ever learned. Social skills, they learn to cooperate, take turns in conversations, and manage relationships with peers. Well, I don't know if any of that's happening. I'm just like, all these things are happening to your children right now. They're in that age group. And the whole time you've been online, I know it's gotten worse, but I didn't watch her for the last 3 years while I was here. I just didn't until she until she got involved with that filing against Granny, and I started watching her again. And then all the falling asleep, I'm drawn into the train wreck. They learn to cooperate, take turns in conversation. Oh, God, I read that. Children start to establish their own identities, forming strong friendships, and sometimes preferring friends to family. Emotional regulation. They become better at managing their emotions and can talk about how they feel. Well, he just did that. He said, no, you were nodding, or whatever he said. No, you were bobbing, or yeah, good for him. Complex sentences, literacy, children become more avid readers, understanding humor. So all of those things are important for your child. They're important things that you need to be aware of when your child is going through these developmental years. And then after 12, there's more until the brain stops. Until the brain stops developing at like 25. That's, about when it happens, when you're considered a full adult in your brain. Now they let you join the military at 18 and vote at 21 and buy alcohol at 21 and stuff like that, I guess, but you're not really considered an adult. So, Brittney, please, I texted her maybe it's been a couple weeks ago, and I said, let me see, because she was mad about something, and let me see what I did. Oh, it's when Craig was waving the gun around, and I said, Brittney, that gun waving around while he was drunk is a threat. It could fire accidentally. I have a hole in the floor of the first house I owned. Me and my then boyfriend were using coke, and the next morning there was this gun, and my gun was in there, and there was a hole in the floor. Zero memory of a gun firing inside my home. The gun was behind the sofa on the windowsill. I don't know how it got there. I don't know if he did it or I did it. I don't know who fired the gun. I don't know if he did it or I did it. I don't know if it was an accident. I don't know if somebody was playing with it. I don't know what happened, but we were using drugs. And things happen when you use drugs, okay? Or drink or whatever you were doing. And so, and then she didn't even respond. Well, first I had said before that, Brittney, this is Barb. Please go stay with your dad or something. This is not a safe environment. Please. That's what I said. And then I don't think she even read where I said, the thing about the coke in my house. And plus, and then I said some other stuff that he was mocking her and things that he was doing to her. And then she hasn't read the other two messages. So I'm guessing she probably blocked me, blocked my phone or something. I'm not sure how that shows up. excuse me, but anyway, if you're interested in hearing more about this kind of stuff from me, because I'm kind of at a loss what to do with my channel anyway, and this has been wearing on me, and I know I'm not supposed to be doing drama because I can't deal with it. Well, I'm doing it today. So, Brittney, please, for the love of the children, please, let me see. I don't want that whole thing of me. Please, for the love of the children, for the love of your children, get some help. It's either physical. Oh, here's another thing. I think it was yesterday too. You came live and you were talking about how bad you felt, how sick you felt. And all, you know, you just projectile vomited, you said. You projectile vomited. And you just didn't feel good. You just felt bad. Oh, my stomach hurts. And a few minutes later, you were laughing and giggling when the money starts coming in and cutting up. And then there was never anything else about you feeling your stomach being upset. But every time you go live, there's something wrong. It's either you got a headache, a toothache, blah, blah, blah. Get your shit together, lady. Do it, lady. Bye. Y'all have a great day. Thanks for watching.